Hello, I'm just making a video to talk about the potentials of creating a safe haven in a part of the world where you may live in. You may not be part of Gloucestershire and the whole movement towards the Umosras reality of Able City and Gloucestershire, Ramsby and Ina. But it's our intention to create, in the phases of Nibiru's moons, we are going to create practices and a Commonwealth whereby all areas of the world that require protection for one reason or the other, or have something in common with what we're offering here and would like to further the reality in the location where they live to exemplify what we do here in their own location. Um, because of this, it's our intention to create this Commonwealth and bring to the rest of the world safe havens that can generate pleroma from a central practice in the same way that Umosras and the reality of Umosras started to form and build in this location and will build ultimately as the practice develops and reaches enough areas of the world and the local area at the same time um, and connect up with the universe. So in this same fashion, the Commonwealth should be created by individual safe havens that generate a central practice and then start to create Lorama and an eon of their own, if you like, to exemplify not only the practices of the central character or characters who are involved in the connecting up that location to Ina in Gloucestershire, but also because there are enough people in that location who are related or have relations with our location without being too close so that they actually come here and be part of what we're doing. So that because there's a large number of people connected to us, we start to develop a shared consensus between the whole Commonwealth and our location, ultimately creating a system whereby um, people may visit other parts of the Commonwealth easily and quickly. And ultimately, by the time we get to the next level up, the second level, it's our intention to have instant travel between Commonwealth practices so that people can instantly go to another part of the earth without having to almost leave their own living room or their own house, because through a portal system that combines all these states of Ina in such a way through the mitochondria that enable the reality of uh, the second coming, if you like, to bring about and connect up everything and create a travel system whereby everyone on Earth can move around freely without having to burn up the planet by flying in jet aeroplanes or whatever craft you may be using. Although these will be there, alongside us and also as very much a part of us with the grey system that we propose to offer, the Glaxo Ransby Aryan systems. But these, the process of the Yesu, the travel transfer system within the platform of VINA itself, will be so embedded in the Commonwealth by the second stage that instant travel between realms of the Commonwealth will also hopefully be obtained with the permission of the one who would be the second coming, the bringer, the Messiah of the whole system. His ultimate role is, well, one of the ultimate roles of this Messiah will be to bring about time travel all over the universe, although some people attest to the fact that this is already possible within the realm of First Heaven and the locations of First Heaven's Commonwealth. There shall be no time travel, primarily because we would be accessing phenomena and technology that, as to date, is inaccessible to the location of Ina, because Ina, in theory, comes at a time before Eden. It comes at a time in the universal cosmos, the creation of the universal cosmos, and the stages that we're in now, in a parallel way, at a time the one time before Eden. So the first Eden realm, it's my intention to actually uh, set up that whole system through a network of other parts of the world who have Eden history or stories in their mythology about their relationship and mythology of being part of an Eden system. That will be probably the next part of the Commonwealth um, connected to ENA. The first part we start to create. There are actually locations that I visited um, in 2013, then 2016, where the central practice will reside. The place I went to in 2016, but these locations um, will have a different way of doing things, a different financial system. They'll have a different way of operating. But we have things in common, and we are related to these practices. Other parts of the Commonwealth will also be locations within the British Isles. We'll have several locations within the British Isles which will map onto this whole Commonwealth system and be part of it. Primarily Britain is the linchpin behind the whole process, the political system, the whole business system, the whole way the country is set up and has developed over the last 10 or so years has ensured that we have had enough force pressure on the people who contribute, the people who are making up the system, um, me, the designer, and people who come up with the practices to embellish the system and to further the Commonwealth. Um, Under the latest government, this whole system has streamlined the whole process of moving towards this next level and has applied the force pressure to keep to sort of put the chattels on, in other words, to ensure that people sort of come up with the light and create phenomena and technology and the reality of what people are doing in their living rooms or in their houses or in their businesses or wherever they may be. So Britain and Brexit Britain is a linchpin behind the whole reality of Umosras and what will come from that, the whole Commonwealth. So therefore, it is because of that that the vast majority of the practices, or a good quarter or a third maybe of the practices, will be located here in the British Isles. The rest of Europe will have several across the European states. Mainly because of the safe haven issue. There are things that are concerning our government and the people who are on the side of Brexit with the European Union at the moment. Some of their moves possibly are moving towards, um, possibly antichrist phenomena, which goes against the whole ethos of the way we set up our system in our country, which is primarily why we got out of Europe in the first place. Um, but the European Union will hopefully be reshaped in time in order for there to be no hostilities between us and that part of the world. Um, there will also be states across the world, possibly South America, possibly Africa, possibly Australia, if we can get that far out this early on in the realm that we currently propose to offer to the rest of the world. If we can't, then those will be locations that will be derivatives of the second level up as we move to the next process, as we move to higher climes, and a location further north as a central HQ. That process will then take up the whole world, the parts of the world that we didn't quite get to in ENA will be taken into consideration in the second process. So that's a bit about the Commonwealth of ENA, and please look at my other videos. There's one that talks about the phases of the moons and how they relate in collaboration with the setting up of the Commonwealth, how they map out the directives of where we're going to set um, the lunar locations, the lunar bases, if you like, where the moon elliptically goes around Nibiru, which is the central location here. Um, all 7 to 9 moons will all sweep around the Earth in elliptical fashions around Nibiru and cause areas of the planet to be protected and to have safe havens which can protect and create practices and new realms for the Commonwealth to put into place. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.